have largely left. They still have this beachhead here over to the east. But this whole area that had been Russian controlled and all the high ground that overlooked Kyiv, and then all of the western suburbs, specifically the airport here that had been used by the Russian for reinforcements, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor, that whole area, all the way up to the Belarusian border, is now once again controlled by the Ukrainians. And this is some of the damage just from Hostomel. That's where the airport is that the Russians had initially tried to take in the first day of the invasion. The Ukrainians pushing that out had been a key part of stopping the Russians in the very beginning. It shows you just the destruction in and around these suburbs of Kyiv. The Russians left very quickly as their supply lines dried up. This gives us a sense of the larger scale map. And obviously, there's a lot less red than there used to be. This was the Russian withdrawal here, here, out, and out here. So the Ukrainians have retaken that. The Russians are now coming all the way back around to where they still have massive supply depots and fixed bases. They've still been able to push out here and control much of the east. They're right now trying to consolidate Izum right here. We've seen some horrific attacks there as well. Kharkiv, though, is still relatively secure for the Ukrainians. The other big issue that we have to watch is this group of Ukrainian forces here. It's about 20,000 Ukrainians, some of their most battle-hardened and well-equipped units that have been holding the Russians from pushing east. Now the Russians are trying to pinch them here and here. I want to bring in Major John Spencer, formerly of the U.S. Army, talk to us a little bit about the tactics involved here. John, great analysis for so many nights here. Compare for us how difficult it is for the Ukrainians to counterattack and push against the Russians in an area just outside of Kyiv versus here in the east?
Yeah, I mean, Lena, you know that anytime you're attacking, you're essentially at the disadvantage. So attacking in and around Kyiv is very urban, like we've talked about in the past. You talk about in the east, you're talking miles and miles of open terrain. It's a different type of fight for sure. And the systems you need in order to protect even the ones dug in trench lines or to push back, really that map should show all the road networks, because now we're in a fight for road networks, as in roads that will allow the Russians to encircle and to control the Donbass, like in Izium and Dnipro and up from Mariupol. Those roads are critical, but the ranges, all war is about range, right? And I've talked to you about the urban area. It reduces the military's range. So yeah, pushing them back, using ambushes, utilizing the urban terrain to your advantage, some of that gets reduced now if we talk about the east. And I'm pretty concerned.
Yeah, and you have to think that it would not take much to cut this force off here. That's about the 20,000 Ukrainians. We're going to zoom now down into the south, where the Ukrainians still continue to make pretty good headway. They've kept this area here and stop the Russian advance at Kherson. Have a little bit of the video from in and around the fighting in the south. The $100 million in Javelin missiles, you're talking about 1,000 Javelin missiles at the current prices right now. How much are we to believe that for every Javelin missile fired, a Russian tank or armored personnel carrier blows up?
I mean, I used to be a Javelin gunner. If it locks on, that's whatever it is, it's hitting it. I mean, that's a very sophisticated system. But Leland, like I said, the max range of a Javelin is 2 miles, some change. We're talking about, we need weapon systems like MLRS and shore-to-ship missiles. We need long-range artillery, self-propelled artillery. I mean, I think those pictures should mean a lot more. So, Leland, I deployed to Iraq in 2008 for my second time. Do you know how much we were spending a month in Iraq?
It was tens of billions.
$12 billion a month.
Yeah.
So we provided $2 billion up to this date to the Ukrainian force.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a tiny number. After seeing some of the pictures, I know over the past 3 or 4 days, I saw one of your MSNBC interviews where you really sort of flipped now all of a sudden, talking about the need for U.S. intervention. Here's one of your tweets. Hard not to get emotional about my feelings for the war crimes, genocide, evil we are seeing the Russian military do. I want nations to intervene now. We must intervene, do much more than we are today. We're the leaders of the free world. We cannot let this continue. Is there a way to read that without you saying we should commit U.S. troops?
Yes. I mean, we're the most powerful military in the world. We're the most powerful nation. Like I said, look at those numbers. That's not us going all in. The day those photos came out of just Bucha, now we're seeing much, much more. Everything should have changed. It shouldn't be okay, we should provide a little bit more. I want to see the full weight of the United States, because we lead the world in all measures, diplomatic, information, military, and economic. This isn't just this just doesn't happen. So I don't want people to ration away or rationalize what's happened just as, this is what happens in war. This is what Putin does. No, these aren't war crimes. This is genocide. Those are crimes against humanity.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing a different level of brutality, and I say seeing it because we've known that the Russians are capable of this, and certainly when I was in the eastern part of Ukraine, we saw similar images. But now we are seeing them here in the United States. It's good to see you, retired Army Major John Spencer. It's good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.